All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by my mother, Queen Mom, Linda Johnson. I'm gonna give you a round of applause. Applause of one is still applause. So
That's all right. Thank you.
I I appreciate you joining me today. I appreciate you doing this, and I know this, ain't easy for some people to just get on camera and
You know I'm out of my comfort zone, way out.
and get on here and tell your business.
Out in the business. Hey, it was life. It's life. It happens.
uh, so, well, with that being said, then let me ask you a question. For those y'all that don't know, my mama had me when she was 15 years old. And one thing I've always admired about you, and one thing I don't think I ever told you this, but one thing I always admired about you is how you handled it when people would say to you, "I didn't know you had a son that old," or "How do you have a son that old?" And you would say it just like it wasn't nothing. Oh, I had him when I was 15. And it was never no shame brought to it. You didn't never kind of shy away from it, and you never made me feel like I was a mistake. So I thank you for that. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being bold and standing up and just admitting, hey, yeah, I had him when I was 15. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Well, you
Okay.
might have left.
So let me ask you a question. Did you find it difficult at all raising a son pretty much by yourself until I think Charles came along when I was what, 13, 13,
Yeah, I
14,
think
something
you
like
were
that?
13 when I got married.
Yeah. So up until that time, um, well, first of all, let me ask you this question. How did it really feel having a child at 15 years old in the 70s? So that was 72. So
It was hard. It was hard because back then, there still was all this stigma.
mhm.
And like I said, I wasn't a fast girl. I was an uninformed girl.
Okay.
And the uninformed girls, the one got caught up. And
Okay.
because I wasn't properly taught about things, we were just experimenting. See what the big secret was about. Because I came
Mhm.
from parents, an era when the parents didn't teach you about sex the right way.
Okay.
They didn't teach you about when your body go to change and you had the urge. We weren't taught, and I was kind of mad about that when I got a little older. Why did you tell me this? But I understand they were bringing us up with the tools they had. You can't teach what you don't know.
Right. Right.
And they came from that era. Like when my grandmama, your great grandmama, got married, she was 13.
Yeah, I think my grandma told me that. Yeah.
Yeah, back then they got married, children getting married. So
Yeah.
they didn't teach them nothing. Your grandma told me that she was married at, I think she married when she was young, 19, I think. And she was finna have my older brother and know what was wrong with her. See,
Oh
that's the
wow.
kind of stuff and so she had girls. They didn't really teach us about our bodies, what was going on. Like I said, when I started my monthly cycle, I was scared to death. I thought I was dying.
Mm.
See, that's the kind of stuff we grew up with. And the
Uh-huh.
only thing they told us about when we started getting older, keep your dress down. And we were curious, okay, why? Don't
Mhm.
didn't teach us why we should keep the dress down or how you supposed to act. When it come to bars and stuff, we weren't taught. Had to figure it out as we went. So that's
Okay.
why a lot of my age group got caught up. We weren't the fast girls knew what to do and not to do. It was the naive, untaught girls that didn't know what to do, how to
Right.
protect themselves. And then we had fathers. Well, I had a father that didn't teach me about men's and boys because he was out in the street.
Mm.
So I didn't see the he didn't teach me how a proper way a man should treat a woman.
Mm.
And we learned, me and my sister, as I learned, because I was the oldest girl, as I learned things, I tried to teach them. That's
Okay.
kind of stuff we grew up with. And like I said, it's no dying grade or trying to shame nobody. It was life at the time. It was what it was. So, but
Okay.
I thank God that I had a village of men around me. It's different now than it was back then. People helped out with the kids.
Yeah, I've said that on our show before that I didn't realize how close of a neighborhood, how close of a village we had until I actually left.
Yeah, everybody in
Because
the neighborhood help raise your children, whoop your children. Now you can't say nothing to these people, children. They'll want to fight you
yeah,
because you
yeah,
trying to tell them what's right. And as I learned things and learned about my body and learned, and then like I said, we try. I know our kids and my grandkids, they get tired of talking about it, but
yeah. Say I turned everything into a teaching moment. So,
you
but
got to. You
uh,
got to, cause you need to learn about like sex is a beautiful thing between a married man and woman. You got to teach them the right way God intended. It ain't nothing bad about sex, but the way they talk to us like it was bad. But you got 8, 9, 10 children and can't explain it. You know,
uh,
it's a lot of ignorance. But when you learn better, you do better. You try to do better.
I
And I
always wonder
realized they
though.
did the best they could with the tools they had.
I
And like I
always
said,
wonder.
all of them married so young too, they didn't have time to experience nothing like what I went through, what we went through.
I always wonder. Why was it such a stigma in the black community that they didn't want to talk to their kids about this type of.
Cause that's what they came from. They weren't taught about it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
So we grew up thinking it was bad and dirty. But it's not when you keep it in the teach the right way and how it's supposed to be. But like I said, we had no our father was in the street, so he didn't teach us out about the ways of men. He didn't teach his daughter about boys and stuff. Like I said, we learned as we went,
Hmm.
and most times we hit and miss.
Well, with that being said, let me ask you this question then. What would you think that raising a son alone, well, up until I was like 13, what was your greatest challenge raising your son?
Well, like I said, I had to go to work because I was on public assistance for a little while because I didn't like that. Cause back then they used to come to your house, make sure the house was clean. They were all in your business. They made sure I took you to the doctor, the dentist, and all that. But back then when they had casework, they used to actually come to your house, and
I
I
remember
decided
that.
I want to live like that. So
Hmm.
I went. I've been working on a real job since I was 16. So I went
Hmm.
to work. But thank God I had village. I had your mama, your grandmama, which y'all call mama, cause y'all grew up basically with her. I went to work and and I didn't go to no through. And I should have went through the child support and all that, but I didn't, cause
Hmm.
it was I didn't. I worked and raised y'all myself. But I thank God for the village of men that I had. And at our house was like the house in the neighborhood that all the kids came to.
Hmm.
And so
Yep.
you were friends with their dads and stuff. And so it
Yep.
was
I've
hard.
said that before. I've always had some male presence, from the guys in the neighborhood, the men in the neighborhood. So,
Right, right.
they saw me doing something, they were gonna correct me. So,
Yeah. And I didn't get mad about it,
mhm,
you know. And if I
yeah,
felt like they were doing you wrong, I would have had a talk with them, but not in front of
right.
you. You know, so
Not one of the scariest things in the world to me was letting one of them come back and tell you something I did or say it. I
okay.
was terrified of that.
Because back in the day we laid hands. Now they'll put you in jail for that. We didn't play. We didn't play. We didn't bruise y'all, but we let y'all know, who was the parent,
Mhm.
who was the child.
Now that what you saying that you went to work, I just another thing that I don't know if I think I told you this before, but another thing that I admire about my mom was the fact that you I forgot about how old you were when you went back to school and got your GED and um
Oh yeah, cause I dropped out of school in the ninth, 10th grade to
mhm.
raise you and to go to work. Like I said, I went to work. But me and your sister graduated high school the same year.
Okay, well it's the same year she
In
graduated. Okay.
95. Yeah, I
Right.
went back.
Okay.
I got my GED. Then I went to technical college, and
Right.
I got my degree in business and office technology.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
That,
she graduated '95. I graduated '95.
yeah, that was another thing that I always admired about you, that you went back to school and then went to college.
Yeah,
So yeah.
so you can
So
do it. And that's why I'm so big, especially the girls. Everybody getting the education, especially the girls. Get your education and have your own. That's why I
yeah.
encourage your sister. I admire your sister. I tell her that all the time. That I'm proud of her. And we all make mistakes, but as long as you learn from it and grow through it, then as long as you're on the earth, you're gonna make a mistake.
Hmm.
Can you believe your mama gonna be 65 this year? After all that I've been through, I'm living my best life. I'm happy. I'm at peace. And I'm
Right.
living my best life. Really.
That's all right. That's all
Yes.
right. All right. What was your greatest joy raising your son?
What was my greatest joy?
Hmm.
Seeing y'all happy and seeing you interact with your friends and seeing y'all do good in school. And I've supported y'all in school, whatever y'all want. I love to see you in show choir. I love can you still sing like that?
Now,
You can. Yeah, I try
nah,
to,
I
even though
get
I'm
told pretty
working.
regular that I can't sing no more. So,
Yeah, even though I'm working, I try to support y'all in whatever you want to do. When you went to art school, I made sure you went to art school. So
yeah,
I tried to support you. I tried to be to y'all what wasn't for me.
right. I understand
Like I
that.
said, when you learn better, you try to do better.
Right, right.
I was the mom that sitting up at night waiting on the school bus to come in for wherever y'all went, and then especially your sister wanted to pile all them children in my car. Cause I don't know where their parent was. Can you take so home? Can you take so like where's their parent? But I did it. Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, so what advice would you give a young woman raising sons?
Whew. Make sure you got a village of men that can help you. Cause I don't care how good of mothers we are and try to be, we can't. Something we just can't teach y'all. We
I
could
agree.
teach y'all how not to treat women, but y'all need strong men in your life. So I would say to them, some men that got some business about you and they good men, let them into your life to help you with these boys, especially our black boys. They need it.
Yeah, I agree. That's one of the reasons that we started doing that, our little show and stuff. Because,
Yeah,
like you say, a lot of stuff that we didn't know growing up was just because we were never told. And
right.
when we,
So you see
when
what I'm
we,
saying? You gotta
yeah,
break. We gotta break this generational stuff. We trying to do better now.
hmm,
And I'm not ashamed. Because I know I wasn't a bad person, an evil person. Like I said, I just was an uninformed girl.
yeah, yeah,
I just uninformed. That don't make you bad or ignorance. It just you don't know.
yeah. I mean, you can't be faulted for something that you just don't know.
Yeah. Not.
That's why I did this.
Yeah, and I don't
Well,
know what this thing is when people. I always remember a quote Dr. Maya Angelou said: "When you learn, you're supposed to teach,
right, right,
and when you get, you're supposed to give."
right,
So we
right.
gotta teach the next generation to be better.
I agree.
But
I
I think,
agree.
and another thing that helped me get through a lot of things of my childhood was when I gave my life to the Lord. That helped me heal a
Hmm.
lot of old wounds and hurts.
Yeah.
That God helped me, and my relationship with Him what got me through a lot of dark days.
Mm.
I could
Yep.
talk to Him, pray, or so I could sit and just cry. He understand what the tears was about.
Mm.
So
Well, let me
that was.
let me let me ask you this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut y'all. Let me ask you
Mm,
this. What advice would you give uh women that are raising boys who really don't have that type of relationship with the boy's father, whether it be an ex husband, ex boyfriend, whatever. Um, Because I've always said, no matter what, it ain't never too late, to start them communication. But some women blocking it, you know, just if you got to get a man a chance. That's just
Yeah,
me, but
I didn't block it. It just wasn't available.
yeah,
I
yeah,
would have. I would have worked with it, but it was. And see, when I was 15. I don't know how old he was at the time, but his parents were like, "No, he ain't getting married. He gonna finish school."
yeah,
His parents kind of took away that. I was too young to be getting married anyway,
yeah.
but they was adamant about their son ain't getting married. He going to school. He gonna
But
finish.
that goes back to that thing we was talking about before about a lot of the weight. When a young girl get pregnant, especially back in them days, all of the pressure got put on the girl.
Yeah, you will labor at this and that, and when none of it true, I know I didn't let them labels stick to me, and I thank God that He didn't allow those labels to stick to me. Like I said, I
Hmm.
wasn't a fast girl or a bad girl. I just was an uninformed girl,
Yeah.
and I didn't let that stigma stick to me. People
Hmm.
like look down on you and stuff like that. What they think about me don't matter.
Yeah.
It's what you think about yourself.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
proud that I raised, like I said, by the time your sister came along, I was 20 something. I thought I was gonna get married and
Yeah.
find out that was cheating on me, and he married somebody else while I was pregnant with her. Ooh, I tell you, my life been. You
You,
can't make this
you
stuff up.
you need to write a book.
But yeah, I was y'all about 5 years apart. 5 years. By the time she came
Four.
along, yeah,
Four.
I was supposed to be getting married.
Hmm.
And then I found out, like I said, all the pain and trauma been in my life been because of a man.
Hmm.
And it just was the truth. So I had to have God in my life to heal my heart
Hmm.
because I was hurt.
Well, the reason I said that about that blocking because I just happened to know a guy that and he wasn't in the child's life for about a good 12 years. It
Because
was
of the mama.
well, it wasn't because of the mama at first, but now that he's trying to get involved, she blocked him. Now he chose to walk away from it the first time.
Uh,
He knew about the child and you know it was he didn't do anything.
how old
He
is the
didn't
child now?
12.
Well, yeah, she shouldn't block that. And
Yeah,
I don't like the fact that some women use their kids as pawns. They hurt. I understand they do that because they hurt and all, but you punishing a child. Don't do that.
right, right.
Don't do that.
So they basically they didn't I and I can understand her point of view. You ain't been involved all this time. Why you want to start now? But that
But
kind
maybe
of goes back.
people grow.
They
You
do.
know,
People
you got to
change. People grow.
give
They
grace.
get better.
Yeah, you got to give grace to people and grow. And how I let it go to hurt and pain. I was a willing participant, a naive participant, but I was just as much as fault as they was.
Yeah.
So I couldn't stay mad about that. I wasn't raped or none of that. I was just naive. But I never tried to stop y'all from having a relationship with y'all dad. It just went around.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a whole lot of stuff. I mean, that I could be mad about it, but why? It ain't gonna change nothing.
Right. Well, that was something that we talked about on our very first show.
Uh huh.
About how we had to let that stuff go because it wasn't that we could do about it. It's done. It's over with. All you
Yeah,
can do is move forward from the day. So.
yeah. Y'all had a place to live. Y'all had clothes. Y'all had food. You ain't spent now night in jail that I know about.
I plead the fifth.
I know some things I don't know. You don't kept from me, but I did the best I could with the tools I had. And like I say, at that time they were big on the abortion and send you off and do this. I wouldn't do that. Even at that young age, I know I wasn't gonna do that.
Okay.
So now, y'all wasn't born under the right circumstances, but I wasn't getting nothing for you. And now I'm still young enough to enjoy y'all. And I got grandbabies.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm living life. God have blessed me, and I'm still in pretty good health, and I'm young enough that I can enjoy y'all now.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
retired. Yes.
All right. I ain't gonna hold you no longer. I know you out there in the elements and you'll be sneezing in a minute. So
But
good.
I'm proud of you, your sister, what y'all doing and getting your healing and when you get old enough to understand why something happened the way it happened.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of years I spent hurt and mad, but I had to let God work on me and heal me of that.
Yeah.
And we all
Well.
right. We still alive. We healthy. We doing good.
mhm.
And I'm proud of
Well.
y'all.
Well. I'm proud of you. Like I said, it's been. I don't know
It's
if
been
I
a
ever said
long
it.
journey, but we made it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But
Been a
I'm very
long.
proud of you. You have been through a lot, and you have overcame a lot in my lifetime, and a lot of most of it was to benefit us. And I appreciate you, and happy Mother's Day to you, and we
Well,
salute
thank
you.
you. Hate to see these mothers mistreating these children. You had these kids and asked to be born.
Right,
So I decided a long time to leave my kids. I'm gonna work and take care of my kids, and that's what I did the best I could. And I think y'all turned out pretty good.
we are.
I think y'all turned out pretty good.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you for doing this, Mama. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Like I said, we gotta talk about this stuff so we can break these cycles.
Right,
What they
right,
call it, generational curses and stuff. But it ain't bad people. They just did what they best they could.
right.
And
Exactly.
as you get older, you gotta let that stuff go. It serves no purpose to hold on to that stuff.
Okay.
Some people go to the grave with hating people and resentment and unforgiveness. And now, forgiveness is so free for you.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiveness is for you, so you can go on live your life and lead them people. And I done
Mm-hmm.
moved on, and
I know
I'm
that. I know how you feel. That's
yeah. I
I got
refuse
it.
to let the past hold me captive. Cause if you still stuck in the past, you ain't present for now, and you ain't gonna have no future.
Amen. Well said. Well said.
So I'm
All
I'm,
right.
I'm living my best life. And who knows? You might get you a stepdad one day.
I want to meet this brother.
He gonna have to be a godsend. You hear me?
You better be
I
ready.
I I I I, I don't know. Cause your sister said I'm too spoiled now. I deserve to be spoiled. She said your man gonna put up with me because I'm too spoiled.
Oh boy,
I
y'all
don't know.
trip.
I don't know, son. I don't know. You don't get me to talk about that. You know how I feel about that.
Yeah, we gonna stop before you go in that bag.
You don't have to be mighty special and show no set from God. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Okay, well, let me end this broadcast and like again, once again, I thank you and I appreciate
Okay, you gonna have to edit out probably a lot of mine.
you. All right, I'm finna stop the broadcast.